The following is a presentation of SC State Athletics. You are watching the Buddy Pough Show, featuring highlights of SC State University Bulldogs football. This week's matchup, your SC State University Bulldogs versus the North Carolina Central University Eagles. Our sponsors are the County of Orangeburg, Palmetto Health, the South Carolina Education Lottery, the Regional Medical Center, State Farm Insurance Rescue It Agency, Simmons Funeral Homes, Vital Care EMS, and the City of Orangeburg. And now head coach Buddy Pough and our host Ernest Robinson.
The series between South Carolina State and North Carolina Central goes all the way back to 1928. In that first football game, the Eagles beat the Bulldogs 6-0. Since that time, they've played 24 times, each team having won 12 games. This game, of course, would take the lead in that series. 6 years ago, South Carolina State blew out North Carolina Central right here at Kelly O. Riddick Stadium, 44-3 on national television. Since that time, though, the Eagles have won 3 in a row, including the last 2 coming back in the second half. And last year, the Bulldogs gave up 21 unanswered to lose that football game.
And first off, they've beaten us the last 3 times, so it's been a tough matchup for us. We got to get out here and really play well from start to finish. And, we got to put these guys away. But the first thing we got to do is we got to put them somewhere. We got to actually get them behind. But, this will be a good football game today. And, it means, I'm sure, a bunch to them just as it does to us. We hoping it means a little bit more to us. So we got our work cut out for us.
Last week, they had a tough game against Norfolk State. They kind of caught by surprise. It was homecoming, probably got caught up with that. And I'm sure they're going to try to tone, so they're going to be laser focused for this week when they know they got A&T next week.
I'm sure they are. They've got us here. We sit kind of right between 2 big games for us, homecoming and A&T. So, I'm sure they'll have, all of their I's dotted, T's crossed for us. Tell you what now, this team on paper is as good as anybody. They're the second best team defensively in the league, and they're up toward the top of most categories offensively. So I don't know why they hadn't had more success, except for the fact that they've gotten behind some of the better teams in our league, and those guys have kind of put them away.
Coach, when you look at them offensively, they present some problems because they've got 3 or 4 receivers, all 6'2" or better, which creates some matchups in the secondary.
Right, and if you try to give too much attention to those guys, then the Isaiah Totten kid, the running back, will really hurt you. So he hit us for a big pass play out of the backfield, toward the end of the game last year, along with the fact that, they hit us for a touchdown ball or 2 too. So, they got weapons, and, Coach Central's coach has really, done a nice job of kind of mixing all those guys into a new package this year. This is a new deal for Coach Trey Oliver. So we can pretty much bet that those guys throw the kitchen sink after they're trying to do anything they can to get a win before they have to go down to Greensboro and play A&T next week.
Coach, how do you keep your team mentally focused today after such a big win last week against Howard? You come in here today kind of sitting in the spot where we've got more to play for than they do.
Well, it's win or go home for us now. It's that deal where if we don't win the football game, then at that point, we're no longer tied for first. We got a chance to share this conference championship. I don't think there is a whole lot of other things that we need to say.
When you start talking about this game, Coach, what's it going to take for you to get the win here today?
We got to be able to throw around a little bit, regardless of what the weather is. Our quarterback, Corey Fields, has started to come out and be what we think is maybe one of the top guys in our league. Our receivers, we think, are top-notch guys. So, we got to put the elements behind us and go ahead and operate in a way where it looks like we're in a dry day.
Thanks, Coach. Let's go to Saturday's first half highlights, South Carolina State and North Carolina Central. Good crowd on hand. Disappointing for the Central folks after last week's capacity crowd for homecoming as Bredesen approaches. High end over end kick, and this is going to be McDaniel at the 10-yard line at the 15. Heads to the left, trying to get outside, and he cuts back at the 20, gets across the 20-yard line to about the 22-yard line. 2 Eagles are right, 1 left. Now Todd moves to the right of the quarterback. Shotgun snap, they give it to Todd over the right side. Todd hitting backfield but pushes forward. Wrapped up and going to be stopped. Play clock down to 5 seconds. Back deep is Demontrez Burrows. He's around midfield. And it is blocked by South Carolina State right at the line of scrimmage. Getting there, making that block. Looks like it might have been John L. Brown. May have been the guy to get it, but the Bulldogs block it. Michael Terry with the snap. Fields back to pass. Fields under pressure. Steps to the right. Throws it out there. It's caught. DeMontrezl Burrows at the 5. Burrows into the end zone for the score. Burrows, of course, that's his 13th touchdown reception on the season, as Dylan Bredeson's on for the point after. His toe is in it. It is up, and it is good. So with 13:06 to go in the first quarter, Bulldogs draw first blood. It's 7 for South Carolina State, nothing for North Carolina Central. Richards, the quarterback, calling for the football, rolling to his right now, floating, throws it out there, got a man out there. It is caught at the 49-yard line. What a catch. Durant and Zafir Kelly, the corners of the Bulldogs. Low snap, goes on the turf, and Totten does a smart thing and falls on it, but they lose yards all the way back to the 42-yard line. One on the gun on the outside, and then Burrows is back deep. Vaccaro, kind of a pooch punt, and it hits an eagle at about the 39-yard line in the back of the foot. Shotgun formation now for Corey Fields. 3 Bulldogs are right, 1 left from the 40-yard line. Handoff LeBron Morris. Morris over the left side at the 50. Morris at the 45 in the Central Territory. That is the end of the first quarter of play from O'Kelly Riddick Stadium on the campus of North Carolina Central University in Durham, North Carolina. Our score, South Carolina State 7, North Carolina Central nothing. Second down and 2, they give it to LeBron. No, yeah, LeBron breaks through at the 30. LeBron Morris at the 35, puts his head down, gets up to the 39-yard line. DeMontrezl Burrows is not in the ballgame on this play. Shotgun snap, Fields back to pass. Fields looking long. Got a man out there. Shaq Davis can't come down with it. Davis was looking for the flag again. Paul McKeever, Terrell Goodwin, Patrick Godbolt, and Bruce Johnson for South Carolina State is that front line. B.J. Davis, Chad Gilchrist, the linebackers. Shotgun formation, Richards back to pass. Richard has a man out there. It is caught at the 42-yard line. Davius Richard, the quarterback. Collier in the backfield with him. Back to pass is Richard. Richard throws it out, and flat is intercepted. Nice play to Kobe Durant. Now Washington goes to the right side, right by Alex Taylor, the All-American. Hand off to LeBron. He runs that way, right up the middle. LeBron puts his head down, spins forward. LeBron still fighting. And right now, nobody's covering Tyrese Nick. He's open over there to the right. Now they move him in motion from right to left. And Corey Fields keeps it himself. Fields faked it to Tyrese and gets up to about the 35-yard line. 2 receivers each way. Tyrese Nick comes from a receiver position into the backfield. They give it to Tyrese, who went right, now comes left at the 15. Tyrese at the 10, at the 5. Tyrese Nick down to the 2-yard line. DePrince Haynes is at the H-back position to the left. They give it to LeBron. LeBron puts his head down. LeBron fights forward, and LeBron Morris is in the end zone for the score. Josh Pringle the snap. Quincy Hill the hold. Bredeson's toe is in it. It is up, and Bredeson drills it through. And the score at the half, South Carolina State 14, North Carolina Central nothing. We'll have more of the Buddy Pough Show after these messages.
Every day, you'll find the most innovative orthopedic care in the Midlands at Palmetto Health USC Orthopedic Center. Each of our highly skilled, compassionate physicians specializes in a unique orthopedic condition, caring for people of all ages and stages of life. We'll guide every step of your treatment, from diagnosis to recovery, so that you can get back to feeling like yourself as quickly as possible. You win when you choose Palmetto Health USC Orthopedic Center.
Since 2002, the lottery has helped award more than 1 million scholarships. So when you play, you're not just taking a chance. You're also giving one.
I was off my game. Every day, my hip got worse and worse.
The coach's arthritis progressed to the point where his joint was bone on bone. Between the pain and the loss of range of motion, he decided to have the hip replaced here at the Regional Medical Center.
I was walking the very next day. I was going so fast, they said, slow down, coach, slow down. It feels great to be coaching again.
The Regional Medical Center. We're changing how you think about healthcare.
You stumble over a blade of grass. Come on.
Coach, at the beginning of the football game, a lot of times people kind of take for granted what we do at the coin toss. But the coin toss in this football game kind of set the tone because the wind was such a factor in this football game.
It did. We wanted to put them back in their own territory with the wind in their face early. And we were fortunate enough to win the toss and to the first so we could kick off. And it really gave us a great opportunity to get them stopped and get a quick score that way.
When you start talking about the start of this football game, they started against the wind. It made it tough for them to throw the football, but then it made it tough for them to punt the football, and you're able to take advantage and get good field position on your first possession.
We didn't do nearly as much as I would have liked to do with it when we got it, but we did have great field position for most of the first quarter, especially because we kicked off to them, they punted to us, and we got the ball on the plus side of their field. We got the football back again and drove it, but and got a score. We got the ball back again and didn't get it in, but we had our opportunity. So we had a great opportunity there that we didn't fully take advantage of.
When you start thinking about not taking advantage of opportunities, Coach, how did it start to play in your mind in that first half that here are a couple of scores that we should have had because we should have been up 21-0?
I almost started to panic a little bit at the end of the first quarter, and then into the second quarter. Then I started hunting points any kind of way I could find them. So, we finally got a little drive going right at the end of the half and got it in. We come back out the second half and, we get the football back again. And they give us the win. So now I'm in another urgent situation trying to figure out, hey, we got to get a score here before the wind changes because I was afraid to go into the fourth quarter up on the two scores. And at that point, we found a score right there at the beginning, at the middle part of the third quarter, and that gave us a chance to go up by 3 scores.
Let's go back to the first half. Corey Fields struggled in the passing department. The only real pass he completed was the one for a touchdown. You have to go to the offensive line in the running game, and boy, did LeBron Morris answer the bell.
He did. LeBron ended up rushing for about 130 some odd yards, and it was a good football game for him. He ran the football hard downhill, and it was exactly what the doctor ordered. It was one of those situations where it was cold and windy, and a lot of people didn't want to be out there. So, it was a situation where he was the guy who took over the game, and he wanted to be there, and he showed just how much he wanted to be there by the way he ran the football.
LeBron Morris had 99 yards after the first half. Now, start talking about this week's edition of the Buddy Pough Show. It's time for the Pough Mental Health Injury Report, Coach. And this one, boy, we really went down the roster to figure out who's in the football game as we got into the second half.
Did. We lost almost our entire receiving corps there at a point. Shaq Davis, one of our freshman wide receivers, went down with a little bit of a head deal. Demontrez Burrows comes up lame, and when you lose Demontrez, not only do you lose you're probably your most consistent inside wide receiver, but we also lost our punt return guy. I'm out there trying to figure out who do we use to return punts. We put a guy in there, and the very first punt they hit is a 90-yarder. It wasn't quite that long, but it was 60-some odd.
Exactly. It should have been that, but a Central player touched the football.
Is that what it was?
And it ended up going 70 yards. Now, this is our Pough Mental Health Injury Report on this edition of the Buddy Pough Show. We're going to take a time out. When we come back, we'll have the all-heart player and more of the Buddy Pough Show right after this timeout.
Every day, you'll find the most innovative orthopedic care in the Midlands at Palmetto Health USC Orthopedic Center. Each of our highly skilled, compassionate physicians specializes in a unique orthopedic condition, caring for people of all ages and stages of life. We'll guide every step of your treatment, from diagnosis to recovery, so that you can get back to feeling like yourself as quickly as possible. You win when you choose Palmetto Health USC Orthopedic Center.
All right, Coach, this week's all-heart player, you did not have to search the highlights to find this guy because he was the highlight for the Bulldogs in the first half.
You're exactly right. Our all-heart guy, all-heart player for this game was LeBron Morris. LeBron is a senior, well, he's a fourth-year running back from Atlanta, and you couldn't find a better guy. This guy is a hard-nosed, good student, perfect citizen guy, you know, who we all love and enjoy having around. And he's talking about going into the transfer portal and actually going on to another school and playing his fifth year. But I'm going to have to talk to him. He got to probably come back next year because I don't know if we're going to allow him just to walk off that way and go somewhere else. But he was our mainstay guy in a game where it was a tough football game. It was cold, it was windy. You know, a lot of people didn't want to be in there, and LeBron Morris did. So he rushed for 130-some-odd yards, 99 yards at the half.
LeBron Morris with South Carolina State. We'll take time out here on Buddy Pough Show. We'll come back with more on this edition right after these messages.
My first thought was, what is going to happen to me? Am I going to live? My second thought was, I needed to live because I thought about my children.
Betty's mammogram showed a lump in her breast. We surgically removed the cancer.
And Betty was referred to Mabry Cancer Center, where she received chemotherapy and radiation therapy.
It was the opportunity to live again.
The Regional Medical Center. We're changing how you think about health care.
Today, I'm cancer-free.
Since 2002, the lottery has helped award more than 1 million scholarships. So when you play, you're not just taking a chance. You're also giving one.
Every day, you'll find the most innovative orthopedic care in the Midlands at Palmetto Health USC Orthopedic Center. Each of our highly skilled, compassionate physicians specializes in a unique orthopedic condition, caring for people of all ages and stages of life. We'll guide every step of your treatment, from diagnosis to recovery, so that you can get back to feeling like yourself as quickly as possible. You win when you choose Palmetto Health USC Orthopedic Center.
Olivo will be kicking against the wind from right to left, and here's a kickoff. It's a high end over end kick. Wynn holds it up. DuBose fields it at the 25. Penalty marker already down. DuBose at the 30, across the 35. Another penalty marker down at the 37-yard line. Shotgun snap for the Bulldogs. They give it to LeBron Morris. He picks up right where he left off, gets almost 5 yards on first down. Good snap. They back off, and Benjamin gets it up high, and it takes off. My goodness. It hits down at the 18-yard line. Coddington fields it back at the 10, and he wants to make a move. Gets past Pringle, but goes down back at the 9-yard line. The shotgun formation. Totten's a single back. Richards the quarterback. Give it to Totten again. Richards tried to pull it out himself. Richard gets some room at the 15, up to the 20-yard line, and pushed out of bounds by Jacoby Durant. I think he picked up the first down on a yard for a first down as Richard wants to go hurry up. He pulls it out, throws it. It's batted away. B.J. Davis slaps it away. Eagles showing blitz play action fake. Fields had a man out there. Now Fields turns the corner. He's got some room at the 50, at the 45, at the 40. Goes out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. And Benjamin's been able to take advantage. Low snap, takes his time, gets it high, and it's long. And it's going to hit and goes through the hands of Josh Pringle. One receiver. We got a new quarterback in for North Carolina Central. He pulls it out, tries to get outside. Running the football, and good gain over there for North Carolina Central. On the carry for the Eagles, that is number 8, Micah Sanders. So Micah Sanders in at quarterback for the Eagles. Sanders pulls it out, trying to run the football, and Sanders this time gets hung up and caught in the backfield. He's tackled down. Paul McKeever got there. First guy was Bruce Johnson. Long snap count. Picaro punts it to the side, and is Skyler Robinson who'll field it at the 50. He is slung around and is slung back. Bulldogs are taking their time, and I don't know if Fields is aware he's only got 5 seconds on the play clock. I know he does. We snap it at 2. Play action, fake, draw play. LeBron over the left side. LeBron at the 40. LeBron gets the first down and more to 35, down to the 29-yard line. They give it to him right off the left side. LeBron spins and gets forward. Pick up a 4 on the play.
44-yard. Maybe this might.
As long as this year's 41, they snap it quick. Bredeson's toe is in it. It is up, and it is good. Dylan Bredesen from 44 yards out.
Hey, with the wind at his back.
5:09 to go, and the Bulldogs take advantage of the weather again.
Yes,
So it's 17 for South Carolina State, nothing for North Carolina Central. Richard now has got trips to the left. Little diamond action they're running. Trying to confuse him. He's in trouble. Richard now having to run the football. He's wrapped up, brought down right at the line of scrimmage. On the tackle, Terrence McCray. Picaro gets a good snap. Picaro gets off a great punt, and it's going to turn in over, and that's going to go backwards and out of bounds. And no, it's not a great punt.
The wind got it.
The line of scrimmage was the 13. They're going to mark the football down.
25, it looks like. That's only at 12 yards.
12-yard punt of the afternoon. Play action fake. He wants a lot. Caught inside on this reception. That was Yancey Washington, the tight end. Hey. Welcome to the Bulldog offense. Tight end. Now DePrince moves behind Yancey on the right side at the H-back. They snap it back. They give it to LeBron. LeBron puts his head down. LeBron fights. Touchdown, South Carolina State. LeBron Morris from 3 yards out with 56 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Josh Pringle to snap. Quincy Hill puts it down. Bredeson's toe is in it. It's up and it's good. Yep. So that is the end of the third quarter play here from O'Kelly Riddick Stadium in Durham, North Carolina. Our score, South Carolina State 24, North Carolina Central nothing. Richard the quarterback. Isaiah Totten in the backfield with him. 4-down lineman for the Bulldogs. And Totten, Davis Richards drops the snap back to pass. Richard now makes a man miss. Gets upfield and to about the 28-yard line before Terrell Goodwin brings him down at the 28. Shotgun formation for Richard. Richard hands off to Totten. Totten is hit, but puts a hand on the ground. Football comes out. South Carolina State has it. It was stripped out. Stripped out by the Bulldogs. On the recovery, it was Jaden Brunson from Blythewood High School.
Boy.
Brunson's having a day.
He's had quite a day today, boy, yeah.
Brunson is having a day for South Carolina State. Brunson and LeBron Morris. For South Carolina State, the Bulldogs get win number 7 as the Bulldogs defeat the Eagles this afternoon by a score of 24-0. Coach, we talked before this football game about this series. North Carolina Central having won the last 3 in a row. The last 2, especially last season, they scored 21 unanswered in the second half. It was important that you come out and psychologically be prepared to get back in this football game.
You're exactly right. We needed to go another score or 2. I was thinking 2 scores is not enough, and I knew in the back of my mind there were situations out there that these guys could go on a run against you. That quarterback of theirs can throw it around pretty good, but our defense was not to be denied today. Those guys played about as well as they played as a team almost all year. So I was really proud of Coach Jonathan Saxon and that defensive side of the ball where those guys played a great game for us.
The weather was thought to be a factor. It did not rain, but it was cold and it was windy. And, Coach, this was one of those days where if you don't want to be out there, it showed on the football field. And one thing you said about your group this past week, they wanted to be out there.
We seem to always be prepared for, some bad weather, inclement kinds of weather. Our guys practiced in the morning, and it rained one of those mornings. So it was cold and rainy and foggy. One of those mornings that we practiced, it was in the 20s. So our guys weren't going to be fazed by the weather that way. And, our guys seemed to come out there and want to be there, thought they had an advantage.
Well, of course, they took advantage in the second half. If we begin the third quarter, Coach, you go back to the ground game, still not able to throw it because the wind is such a factor, and you're able to manufacture some points by way of a Dylan Bredesen 44-yard field goal, the longest of the season for him.
I was happy for him. He'd been sick most of the week. He had a little flu symptom kind of stuff and didn't really want to be here. He got out there this morning, and say, you know what, Coach, I feel better. I'm glad I'm here. I said, well, I'm glad you're here too. Dylan, I said, I ain't got another kicker. So we had a situation where we put him out there. It's about a 45-yard field goal. I think his longest might have been maybe 43, 44 yards, somewhere in that neck of the woods. And he got out there and he hits it, and it might have gone over by that far. It wasn't a whole lot of room to spare, I guarantee you. But he hit it, and it went in, and that was three scores for us, and that was all I could think of at that point.
Coach, in the second and the fourth quarter now, you start to really take some time off the clock. Corey Field's really taking this time, but you're able to play a lot of kids, some kids we hadn't seen before, not only at receiver, but on the offensive line late in this football game.
We did. We played everybody that we had, which was, the mission at that point. One of the things we wanted to do was run clock, try to see if we could shorten the game as much as we could. And the fact that we played almost all of our personnel that we had here. You don't have a lot of options when you're on the road that way. You only travel 60 guys or so it doesn't take a whole long time to run out of your bodies that way. But we did use almost everybody that we played, and that's an enjoyable experience for our kids to go out and actually have a chance to play.
Next week, it doesn't get any easier. We head to Norfolk State. It'll probably be cold, but this is a really good football team.
You better bet you they are. They beat this crew up last week down here also. So they've done everything we've done. They've beaten us the last couple of years. They beat us up at our place, last year in a tough back and forth kind of football game. So we'll be going to Norfolk State. We'll be playing for the conference championship. Regardless what happens with A&T, we know if we win, we'll share the conference championship, and that's big in my eye. So we are looking forward to going up to playing Norfolk State in Norfolk next weekend at 1 o'clock for the MEAC Conference Championship, and that's a big deal, and we're excited about going up there and give it a shot.
I'll tell you what, folks, that'll be the final word here on the Buddy Pough Show. Next week, 1 o'clock up in Norfolk, Virginia, when the Bulldogs take on the Norfolk State Spartans. We hope to see you up there as well. And next week, right here on Fox Sports Southeast on the Buddy Pough Show.
Thank you for watching the Buddy Pough Show, featuring highlights of SC State University Bulldogs football. Our sponsors are the County of Orangeburg, Palmetto Health, the South Carolina Education Lottery, the Regional Medical Center, State Farm Insurance Rescue It Agency, Simmons Funeral Homes, Vital Care EMS, and the City of Orangeburg. Join us again next week for highlights of SC State University Bulldogs football.